Distinguished Toastmaster Priyang, conflict to connection. Conflict to connection, distinguished Toastmaster Priyang, over to you.
Thank you. Before I move into my presentation, I will use the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Otherwise, I'll forget. Word of the day, I saw my mom penning some poem for the radio station. She always loves writing to the radio stations. Coming to the idiom of the day, to be very honest, I burnt the midnight oil to put together the PPT for today's speech. So you can see my presentation here and there. If anything is not okay, you can ping me privately. I will make the correction and updates. With that, we will get started.
Ma'am, so what's your speech timing or duration?
18 to 22 minutes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Hope it is visible. Okay, so this is all coming from non-violent communication. We'll talk a little bit about how we can move from conflict to connection. Every day, some kind of conflict keeps happening with known people, unknown people, at home, at work, everywhere, right? So, have you ever had an argument with somebody and you were also talking, the other person was also talking, but nobody was listening? Or have you watched an argument where two people were both were talking and nobody was listening? Commonly, it happens, right? Yeah. And have you ever felt a conversation thinking that's not what I meant? You said something, but the other person understood something else. And have you ever felt like why did they react like that? Then welcome to this conflict to connection session. It will definitely help you to handle conflicts better. Most conflicts don't happen because people are bad. People are inherently good. Their intentions are good. But when actually a conflict is happening, people are talking in different languages. Say for one is talking in Kannada, one is talking in Tamil. So both are not trying to understand each other. They are trying to make sure the other person will understand them. So whenever we say, you never listen, a parent may tell a child, you never listen. How it lands to the child, I'm the problem. At work, if the boss says this report is disappointing, then the employee thinks I am disappointing. And at home, if you tell your spouse you're always on the phone, then your spouse hears it as I'm failing this relationship. Judgments, blame, accusations. We're going to look about it. Any common judgments that you hear, you can put it in the chat comments. In all of these scenarios, the words are different, but the result is the same. Whenever we pass a judgment or blame or criticism, the other person will get defensive. They will try to protect themselves, and then next they'll come with a bigger blow to give you back. What happens is attack, counter attack, and the cycle will keep repeating. Judgment, assumptions, blame, defensiveness. It goes on and on like a wheel. So this is a blame cycle. Judge, defend, attack, counter attack, and repeat. We are simply going to break this cycle by changing few words and the approach in how we handle conflicts. That is what we are going to call, that is what is called as the non-violent communication. It is a framework by Marshall Rosenberg for compassionate and effective communication. There is a book out there. If you are interested, you can go read. But there is this small framework you can learn, which will help you in your day-to-day life and also at work. What this model actually does is it replaces judgment with understanding and blame with connection. Can anybody tell what is the objective of communication or an objective of an argument?
Convey our side thoughts.
Okay, convey your side of thoughts. Okay.
Make other person understand us.
Make other person understand us. Ah, very nice. Very, very nice.
Convey our intention.
Convey our intention. Yeah, sometimes the intention is hidden, right? The intention is good, but we may not tell it in the right way. Convey your intention. My intention is not to hurt you, but to tell this. My intention is not to differ with you, but This is how I feel. I don't have time. Okay.
Whenever I talk with my teenage daughter, I will start like, this is what you think, this is what you feel, but that is not my intention, and this is what I am trying to say. That is how I always start the conversation with her.
Okay. 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 So the goal of any argument is not to win. We need to be clear that we are not trying to communicate to win that argument, to win that conversation. The goal of communication is to connect with the other person at wherever they are, at what level they are. So this NBC framework has 4-step model. It's very, very easy. You can right away after the session go and implement. The first thing is observation. Whenever there is some heated thing happening or an escalation happening, we are not going to react or interpret or get hyped up. We are just going to observe. We are going to be very factual. We are not going to interpret the situation. That is the first key. And then we are going to use feeling statements. And then behind every feeling, there is a need. There is an unmet need. That is why that feeling comes up. And then we are going to make very respectful request, which is very specific, actionable. We'll come to that one by one. The first thing is to observe. Observe without judgment, without interpretation, without blaming, without accusing. Just the facts. And some words we can avoid is always and never. These two words are not going to help in our life. You are always late. You never help me. You never make time for me. Try to remove these two words, always and never, from your vocabulary. Your life will change forever. Instead of telling you are always late, we can try you arrived 20 minutes late after the agreed time. So it becomes very factual. It is not putting the blame on the person. And whenever you put across the facts, people will argue less. The next step is, why does that bother you? How do you feel when somebody does that? I feel frustrated when you come 20 minutes late after the agreed time. Or I feel disappointed when you make me wait for 20 minutes after the agreed time. Whenever you use a feeling words, it shares that you are humane. You are showing humanity. It gives room for the other person to put themselves in your shoes. Then we'll go to the next step. Behind every feeling, there is a need. There is an unmet need. Probably the other person is looking for your attention. The other person needs connection. They need your time. They need you to listen, or they need your support. They need your appreciation. They need clarity. Try to understand what is the need that is not getting met there, and try to meet that need. Behind every criticism, there is an unmet need. And make a clear, specific request. Clear, positive, actionable request that they can do. Ask specifically, don't demand. Don't tell vaguely like you need to change. Wouldn't you change? Instead of that, you can ask, would you be willing to send a report by 5 p.m.? Would you be able to come on time when you promise a time? It is very specific, actionable, and keep it respectful. Listening with empathy. Whenever there is a conflict happening, we are just listening to the words. And when one word, two words trigger, we will also start shouting. That is what happens. So while listening, what we are going to do is, we are not just going to listen for the words. After we hear the word, we are also going to listen for the feelings and the needs. 2-step. We are going to go 2-step deeper. How we can do that? Not just hear the accusation. You are always looking at your phone. You are always watching the TV. You are not helping around the house. Don't just hear the accusation. Hear the feeling. Probably that person is not feeling supported. That person is feeling burdened. That person is feeling alone. And below the feeling, what is the need? Help with some chores at home. Try to spend time with them. Give them attention. Maybe that is the need. And then what is the exact request? This is the listening formula. There is an example here. Instead of telling you never listen, or when somebody is telling you never listen, The feeling behind us is they are feeling unheard. Probably when they're coming and talking, you have to put your phone aside, switch off the TV, and try to give them the full attention. Look them in the eye, do some nod, even if you are not listening. Give them the impression that you are listening. And then they need understanding. Let them finish. Don't interrupt in the middle. Ensure that they have talked fully whatever they want to talk. Or you can also ask, would you listen for 5 minutes? Whenever you feel the other person is not listening, you feel unheard, you can ask them, would you listen for 5 minutes? Would you let me finish? Would you be willing to hear my side of the story? Like that, you can make it a very specific request. The common traps in the communication is criticism and labels. You're always like this, you're always like that, you're like your mom, you're like your dad. We make those kind of labels, which we can try to avoid. These kind of things will make the conflict bigger, it will aggravate. I have been in situations where there were small conflicts going on, and when I jump in and try to help and resolve, it has aggravated and become big. So let's not be like that. Let's try to avoid criticism, label, demanding. You should do, you should. Those kind of words we can try to avoid. And don't expect anybody to mind read. If you're doing a lot, you need help, nobody will know. Unless you state it in a respectful way to the other. Can you help with me? Can you please? And then state the request. Don't expect people to mind read. So here is an example. You never listen. Instead of that, you can try rewording it as, when I was interrupted twice, I felt frustrated because I need understanding. Would you let me finish fully? Instead of nobody supports me. When someone says nobody supports me, immediately people try to defend. That is not true. Try to pause for 2 seconds and then ask, how does that make you feel? Are you feeling disappointed? Are you feeling unheard? Are you feeling unsupported? Why are you feeling unsupported? Would you like more support from the team? Would you like more support from me? Or you can ask, how does that make you feel? How can I support you? How can I help you? The moment you change how you respond, immediately there will be less conflict and more connection, more empathy. And that will be a better leadership actually. And when someone is angry, what do we do? When the other person is angry,
Relax.
relax. Okay. It may make the other person more angry also. Okay.
Justifying with some
Justifying, yeah, justifying your side. Okay. We'll get louder. You get louder when the other person is angry. If you get louder, you think you can prove your point is correct. That happens. We explain ourselves. Sometimes we defend, we justify. Some people use silence. Let the other person finish off the anger. Sometimes it works, sometimes they may get more angry also. We don't know. So instead of telling somebody to calm down, you can say you sound frustrated. What is that is making you angry? And whenever somebody says that's not my fault, you can try saying, it seems the situation is really important to you. How can we resolve this? Something like that. A small pause and change in the words can help to cool the other person down. Don't try to tell the person calm down when they are angry. They'll get more angry. That I am very, very sure. Why non-violent communication is very important. In everyday life, it is important. Like Uma said, in handling teenagers, in handling kids, in dealing with spouse, in dealing with boss, in everyday life, known people and unknown people, we want to have less conflicts. We can be more peaceful actually whenever there is less conflicts. And if we can tackle things and resolve them quickly, it is peace for both the party. And after a conflict, we don't want to lose the person, right? We still want to have the person. We want to travel with the person for long. So in leadership, especially nonviolent communication helps in feedback appraisal session. It goes either way. Whenever you're giving feedback, you will be able to give feedback for which people will not get defensive. They will not justify. They will be more open and accepting the feedback when you give it in NVC format. and conflict resolution in teams, team discussions, and you can use NBC in coaching conversations and mentoring as well. Especially in Toastmasters, always we are evaluating speeches, we are giving evaluation reports, timer grammarian reports. You can always try using NBC. In leadership roles, in XCOM roles, and district leader roles, we will definitely need NBC because this is not a paid job. There is no appraisal. There is no hierarchy. There's a volunteer service-based organization. Members are at the top and leaders are servant leaders. So definitely you will need NBC communication in Toastmasters with people with title, without title, and all the members. And to support the members, how can I help you? How can I help you with the next speech? What is that you are looking for? Those kind of wordings you can always use. Okay, now it's activity time. You want to try rephrasing these words and put in the chat in NBC format. You never respond to emails. That is in a work context. And the evaluator was too harsh in a Toastmasters context. And nobody helps me around here at home. You can unmute and try, or you can put in the chat box, whichever is comfortable for you.
Yeah, we can quote specific examples of emails which have not been responded.
Okay, being specific. Okay, I expected response to this particular email in 48 hours.
Yeah.
When you don't respond within 48 hours or within a week, I feel ignored, or you can say I feel the message was not acknowledged. If you can acknowledge the receipt of emails within 48 hours, that would be great. Something like that. Anybody would like to give a try? There is no right and wrong answers. We are just exploring, right? We are trying to do an activity and exercise. When we do activity, we learn better actually, more than just listening to the lecture.
Maybe for
Uma
the
ma'am?
second,
Yeah.
a little polite evaluation would help the speaker. It's something like that.
Yes, yes. A little polite evaluation would help me as a speaker to grow, like that you can tell. Or you can tell pointing out only the areas of improvement. Along with pointing out the areas of improvement, if you can add a couple of strengths or what I did well, will give me a balanced feedback. Like that also we can tell. Uma ma'am, you want to try one?
Sorry, can you repeat again? My bad.
Do you want to try the third one?
Nobody helps me around here.
Okay.
So I just need to talk with emotions.
You will tell your feelings and then you will make a request. Instead of telling nobody helps me around here.
Actually, I will never say this dialogue at all at home. But basically, by seeing my face itself, they will understand. This is what I'm trying to say. My apologies. So because I don't have a habit of saying this dialogue, so it is becoming quite new for me. And if I try to say, I will say like nobody helps me around here. That is how I will try.
It is coming with the vocal variety also. There's the stress and the power of the mom.
Yes, and also like when I will ask them, I'll ask my daughters to do something, and if I say with this dialogue and ask them to do something, immediately they'll jump from their bed and they'll try to do it.
It's like a fight or flight mode, right? We have to get it done, otherwise she's going to throw us out of the house.
Yes.
Okay. We will move on. I think I have the possible answers here. There is no like right answer or wrong answer. These are just possible answers. When I don't receive a response for several days, I feel concerned because I need clarity. Would you be willing to acknowledge the receipt of email? if you need more time. When I receive several improvement points without hearing the strength, I feel discouraged because I need balanced feedback. Would you be willing to include positives as well? See how much it will be easy if we can open the mouth and then tell it straight and respectfully, right? And when I clean the house alone, I feel overwhelmed because I need support. Would you be able to help with this specific thing? Okay. Think of a recent conflict and rewrite it using non-violent communication in your own life. And let me know how it goes after you apply NBC. And the key takeaways from today's session is remember the 4 words: observe, feel, there is a need behind the feeling, and then make the request. Let the request be specific, actionable, and what? There was S, A, and R, right? Did we remember?
With request.
Respectful. And as I always used to say, misunderstandings are the way to deeper understanding. Don't dread about misunderstandings. It is always good whenever misunderstanding comes. If you tackle it in the right way, it will lead to more deeper understanding. And look, conflicts is always as a gateway to deeper connection. Whenever a conflict comes, it will develop more understanding between the partners and between anybody who is going through the conflict if you're using the right words and tackle it in the right direction. All the very best.